Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a full-length follow-along tutorial of how I use my sound effects in a video, start to finish. What we have here is a cinematic of a Porsche 911 Turbo 930 generation, which is just so sick. I love this car, and I didn't realize how much I love the car until I filmed the car. It's phenomenal. Let's listen to it with just the engine sounds. There she is. Also, we're going to have to talk a little quiet today because my baby's in the next room and he's asleep. So, first things first, we are going to add some whoosh sounds to this scene right here and this scene right here. And I actually already had those chosen, so there they are. What we're using is the Stealthcraft flyby sound, which you'll find in the whoosh section, and then object flyby, which you'll also find in the whoosh section. And then I stacked it with a liquid energy whoosh. All right. Let's dive in. So I really like to use, so my thought process with this scene, with both these scenes actually, is I want the whoosh, I want the sound of the car, but then I also want like a sound that helps give the feeling of like time slowing, right? Because these scenes go from very fast to very slow almost immediately. So what I want to do for that is I think I'm going to go grab a downer, see if we can find something that feels relevant and appropriate for this scene. Kind of like that one. Yep, that's super good. That's super good. I might just add some like leaf foley sounds, which means that this video will only be 99% made from my sound effects. I apologize, but I think that might be necessary. Leaves falling, blowing, moving. What do we have? Rustling. Rustling's a good word. That's not bad. I like that one. Let's do that one. And then I think I want this. I don't like the sound of the wind though. Maybe that one. Let's try those two. Okay, let's try this. See how this looks. That worked out pretty well. Here's the thing is I like the sudden impact of the opening scene, but I want the next impact to be just a little anticipated. I don't want it to completely catch the viewer off guard. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to add a riser. Ooh. Yeah, something like that. But I think we'll just use like a little bit of it though. Like that. Ooh, even shorter. Let's speed it up actually. Let's try 200%. Yeah. Maybe even add even more fade. Yeah. Yep. And then when you're layering sounds like in this opening scene right here, you layer sounds to add depth to your video, but you don't want to go too crazy on a bunch of sounds that are in the same tonal range. What I mean by that is you don't want to add a bunch of I guess, higher or medium pitch sounds on top of each other. What you want to do is add some high and medium with some low and super low sounds. That way you can add actual depth. So it's not just like a big jumble of noise. It sounds like there's actually a lot of depth to that noise. And so that's what we're going to do here. So for example, we've got this Stealthcraft flyby right here. That one's a bit of a higher pitched whoosh right there. But then you also have this liquid energy whoosh right beneath it, much lower. And then when they're together, it has a much more, the sound has a lot more depth to it. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish with, I guess, as many scenes as possible. We want to have that depth. It really, think about it this way. You want to reward the headphone viewers, right? Because granted, an iPhone is not really going to carry the bass at all. Like, you're not going to hear all these like super low hits and rumbles and stuff like that. But if you watch this on like with AirPods or on a TV or something, it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. So I never like to just assume that everyone's gonna be watching this on their phone. I like to assume that maybe somewhere, someplace, someone is watching this on like a nice TV or with a good set of headphones. You know what I mean? So we want to do the exact same. We want to apply the exact same philosophy to this scene right here. I want to add a much lower sound. Maybe we'll venture through the whooshes again for that. Let's try that one. The fire sound, I kind of like how it has a little bit of like the crackly noise to it, which fits the look of the leaves really well. Yeah, that sounds good. I think I want to actually fade this out a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That adds a little bit more depth to it. Now I want to bring in something really low. So we got something high there, something medium there, and I want something really low. It's a stretch. Could be artistic. Let's find out. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. I might leave that there. Let's jump back over to these downers. Ooh. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's try that on. I might actually even boost that bass even more. If we get over here to the equalizer, you can really accentuate certain parts of a sound. Let's see what happens if we do this. Might be way overpowering. We'll find out. Yep. Oh, we're going to want to turn this down now. Still. Soloed out. Nope. Maybe even raise a bit more of it too. That's kind of fun. What happens if we do this? No. Turn that off. Let's add those leaf sounds in there. Let's try this. Turn that down. Let's bring it up to here. Let's grab this and let's turn this down as well. Where are you at? Drag you down, and then we're allowed to crossfade here. There we go. Yeah, drag that out. Let that fade. Okay, let's see what we got. No. Nope, that riser definitely needs to be longer. Let's put it back to 100%. okay. We can still do this though, which I know it seems counterintuitive, but I think I want to turn up the volume on this flyby right here. What do you sound like? It's pretty tame. Let's see if we can make it sound a little crazier. What you got? Anything over there? That's better. There's some growl. Gotta really push that thing. That's too much. Okay. Let's try that. Yeah, that's fun. You are a lot. This might be a little too much, but we're going to play with it. I kind of like it. That's fun too. That's fun too. Let's try this. What I want is, I want the tail of that whoosh to last longer. I want more of a drawn out, I guess, hit there, but it's not a hit though. That kind of counts. That counts. Yep, that's very drawn out. Let's see if that sounds good. Maybe more dramatic downer. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Oh gosh, it's getting muddy. It's getting muddy. Muddy, muddy. Let's turn some stuff down here for a second. Nope. No. Too muddy. You know what? As of right now, I like where it's at. Okay. Let's mess with this a little bit. Make this sound a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. Yep, that's more aggressive. Nice, 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 nice. Now the question is, do we add a riser here, even though the tachometer and the sound of the engine is a riser in and of itself? It's kind of cool. Let's try that one. Crazy long, so let's just place it right there and see what that feels like. No, wrong. Need to put it at the end. Like I said, the tachometer, the sound of the engine itself is acting as a riser, and so I'm going to want both of those to end at the exact same time for the payoff of the shifting. Yeah. Yep, that's good. Is that you down there? Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm going to actually do this. So we're going to take this side, or I guess keep it down, and this side bring it back up. I really like the sound that it does. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe bring this side down even more. I feel like this riser's actually taking over the scene a little bit. Let's let this one play more of a part. Okay, cool. All right, let's stick with that. Then I want to add a whoosh. If you notice, I added just a really simple transition there. to help blend the two scenes together. So let's see if a whoosh fits well there. Ooh, that could work. That could work. Maybe even faster. 150 maybe? Let's give that a shot. That could be it. Ooh, maybe grab maybe the end of that. Maybe. Let's see if that sounds weird. It's a little weird. That's kind of fun if we cut off the end there. Let's grab this sub hit too. Try that. That could work. That could work. I personally like it when you have these back-to-back really quick scenes like this. Clutch, shift, gas. I try to keep those scenes sounding separate. It's really, really easy for them to sound like one long jumbled noise, but I'd like it if like you close your eyes as the viewer and understand that like 3 quick scenes just happen in succession rather than like one scene with a lot happening just happened. Does that make sense? Let's find something for this shift action right here. Usually I like to use a reload sound for shifting. Shifting in this case. That one's pretty, that's pretty classic sounding. Let's try that. Let's see if that fits. Awesome. We want to find a sound for that pedal stomp right there. All right. Oh, let's try this. Let's see what that looks like. Let's drag that over. That's too much. It's a good start, but I think that it needs more. Needs some depth. So we have the movement of the shifter right there, but that's more of the sound of the shifting itself. I think we should also try and add a sound of the shifter move, like the hand moving, the movement, not just the sound of like the transmission changing gears. So let's try. If we just take that piece right there and then maybe fade in the beginning and end. Yeah, that's good. This needs a stronger hit though. Need something punchy right there. So let's head over to the hits and let's find. We could try that one. Let's see. Oh, I know what it's missing. It's missing the sound. It needs a whoosh for the foot coming into frame. We could try this one. Goodness gracious, that sound is long. Oh, that should not be crossing over. I want to keep these very separate. Those ones can stay, but this. See how I'm trying to keep everything very tight and concealed into these. Sometimes you want them to flow into the next scene by a couple frames just to keep the transitions feeling a little smoother. But in this, I want it to be very rigid. Which means we can probably actually chill that a little bit. These need to come in a little bit earlier. And maybe actually something deeper to layer that. Sub-mechanical downer. Let's try that. And that might actually be the one that we can drag across. Yeah, maybe just like that much. Let's back just like a little bit more. Oh, maybe this guy too, actually. Speaking of keeping everything in its place, those were clearly crossing some boundaries there. Let's try cutting that back, actually. Okay, all right, let's watch it back from the beginning. Ooh, okay, yep. You know, sometimes you gotta just go back to a scene. You gotta get it to a point where it's good enough, come back in a few minutes, and then suddenly the thing that is missing becomes blatantly obvious. And in this case, I think it's a hit. Well, we could try this one. It's a little dramatic, but it could work. Ooh, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. Let's solo these out one by one. Cool, cool. Solo this guy. All right. Add this guy. Cool. Still cool. Oh yeah, let's drag that out. I like that. Or this one. And then the leaves. Okay, that sounds great. That also needs a much stronger riser to pair with the engine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this one. Yep. Yeah, let's do that. Love it. Let's try this one. I kind of want like a boom boom, and then. So you know what we might do right there? We might take a hit and reverse it to create a really quick riser. Like that one. Let's try this one. So what we do is we drag this down here. We reverse the speed. Then we take a listen. Yes. Heck yes. In fact, that could work really well right there too, which is funny. That's funny. Let's line this back up again. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I think I'm actually going to keep that over there. And then copy it, put it over here. And change the clip speed to -200. And see if we can put it right here as well. Let's try this. It's getting lost in the sauce. Get rid of those for a second. Get rid of that. Honestly, so much of this is just experimenting. It's like, that could sound cool. You know? Let's bring that back to there. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Mess around with this again. Do that. Let's try that. Okay. I think I like this. We still need a sound for the boot to hit the pedal, but I don't think we need that many. Audition time. Here we go. What about you? Nope. What about you? Maybe. What about... Well, we bring this in here. What do you sound like anyways? I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, of like the raw noise of the car right here. Oh, we need to crossfade that, I think. And then I think I want to beef this up too. Beef it up. Look at that. Try that. That's fun. I like that. Let's do the same thing to this one too. All right, let's see how she flows. I think I want to get rid of that initial leaf burst there. And I think I want to delay this leaf burst just a little bit. That one needs to also fade in. Yeah, let's try that. Whoops. I think I want to bring up the higher pitches of the engine a bit more, of that exhaust note there. Yeah, that looks good. I don't want the sound of the car to get lost in all this, you know. I want to make sure that it's well heard, that the car remains the hero of the film. I don't want it to get washed out. That's kind of fun. Let's try that one. Yeah, that's fun. Yep. Then we can get back into the action right there. I think I might want to give this like light streak transition a sound too. But what to use? Maybe the gear winding sound? No, too short. However, we could try a subtle chopper drone here next to this wheel. That could be cool. That could be cool. Let's try it. Let's try it. Yeah, super subtle, but I like it. Let's mess around with the downer. Let's try this one. That's way too loud. Let's fix that. Yeah. No, soloed out. That's right on the cusp. Let's try that. Let's try that. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. Yep. I'm gonna cut this down to here, and then throw in a hit. Maybe that. Let's try that. Oops, right there. We can try that, make it more subtle, and then add in a very like steampunk, crunchy kind of reload sound. It's like a very sub reload sound. Might actually bring this up a little bit. Okay, let's try this Steampunk Reload 3 right here. Ooh, actually, I like that. I like that for the shift sound. Yeah, it's simple. It's really simple. Maybe we can bring this back in and just drag it down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then maybe this as he brings his hand back. But let's drop the pit, and not the pan, the pitch, equalizer. Yeah, let's try that. I like it. Let's speed it up now. Yep. Yep, that's good. All right, let's double check our work. Let's head back. One of these I feel like is too redundant from this earlier scene. So let's remove one of these. It might be this one. Okay, I think these two scenes right here, I think there needs to be a riser. Like, I love that the sound of the car is the hero, but I think that it needs something to build the momentum again. When doing sound design, it's a lot like a roller coaster. Like, you want to continually be building towards something and then giving it payoff, and then building and then giving it payoff. And it just helps the video flow smoothly, and it helps the audience kind of subconsciously know what to expect while still feeling surprised. That way it's satisfying. It's satisfying to get the payoff after a build, but also you don't know what's coming after the build either, you know? So it's the best of both worlds when you can do that. So that's always my goal when it comes to sound design. We could maybe get away with this one right here. Although I think I'd rather use that one over here with this scene. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to put that over there. I think I just want that much of the riser and put it right here. Let's see if that can help build up. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I think I might want to drop the tone though a little bit. Maybe not. So there's two opportunities for sounds in this scene right here. You've got the hand moving towards the steering wheel and the hand actually grabbing the steering wheel. Both of those could be given sounds. So let's see how well it fits. Okay, I think that's good. However, there's a lot of empty space there. And so I think I'll just put a reverse hit to make it a really short riser. the texture of that. What is that? Steampunk Reload 2. It's kind of has a bit of texture to the scene there. I like it. You might be able to use this as a riser, actually. Let's try this on for size. Speed it up. Oh yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I think this shifting scene actually needs more now. I think it's getting overshadowed. That's pretty aggressive. We might actually have to carry that over a little bit. That feels good. That feels good. I actually want to take this, make this sound a bit more exciting. What you can do with engine exhaust notes, if you want the car to sound like it's absolutely flying, is tilt the pitch up like 1 or 2 notches in the semitones. That sounds like it's revving to the freaking moon. Maybe just 1. Yeah, that worked. I like that. And then see how he's crossing that line right there. I want to give that some sound too. I think I want to use this one and just speed it up like crazy. Cut it back. Trim it down. Yeah, I like that. Let's try that. Maybe that's too fast. Turn down the pitch too. Maybe even go to the drones. Add the chopper drone back into this. Yeah. I might even just have it peak right here. Yeah, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Lift this. I think I wanted to ease in and ease out though. Maybe even drag this back to here. I hate to say it, but I think I want this turned up a little bit, and then I'm just going to bring everything back down after, but balance-wise, I kind of want it to feel a little bit overpowering. Ooh, you might be good here. Ooh, yep. I feel like there's something dope we can do here. Maybe something like this. Maybe cut that back. Is that crazy? Yep, that's better. That's better. The audience didn't have time to even understand what just happened. That's better. Speed that up. Place that here. Maybe for flyby. And I also want it to just sound like tactile, for lack of a better word. I think that the gear winding sound might help with that. Right here. And even let it start back here. That's fun. And then put this here. Spaceship whoosh. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. I think I want to do a reverse hit right here. Like that one. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if that works nicely. Let's see if I'll put it right there. Maybe let it cross. Let's try not. Sometimes it just doesn't make any noise. You gotta make a small adjustment. Where do I put it here? Maybe there. That's good. That's good. That's a strong foundation. I think I want to just like season it up a little bit, you know? Yeah, that's fun. See how that feels. Yeah, I like that. I think I want one more little. Let me put this right here for the first one. Yeah, yep. Let's give the tree something too. Why not? Yep, that's fun. I like that. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Okay, all right. Getting sleepy, but that's not going to stop us now. You see, I feel like the leaves don't get a break. Like you're hearing them throughout both scenes. I want them to come back into play, you know? Which that is dragged all the way back there, so that can be part of it. There we go. There we go. That gives some room for the riser by pulling the leaves back a little bit. Oh, but I love the leaves though. Also, I want to bring the leaves up a little bit more here and keep them a little bit lower here just because you're closer to the leaves here. Yeah, yeah. I might want to make that even more dramatic. Yeah. You see, here's the thing. I think when it comes to sound design, don't overthink it. Get a sound in there, make it like good enough, and then you can always come back, re-listen to the whole video again, and swap it out later. But you will get just paralyzed in the editing process if you don't just get some sounds down. Because as you see, I'm constantly going back to even the very first clip over and over again and being like, okay, I want to change that now. It leaves the frame. I could add a whoosh right there. That one's pretty soft, but we can try it out. Ooh, I think I want a sound for him grabbing it too, which the reload sound kind of covers both, but I think I want a sound for that too. Yeah, I like that. Let's add something for his hand coming back up to the steering wheel too. We could try this one. Maybe 150. Make it louder. No, we can't just use that one, but that adds a nice deep layer to whatever we do decide to throw on there. Oh, I know we need. We need a hit. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Anyways, we need a hit for the beginning of the scene. That's kind of neat. What about this? Yep, let's try that with a downer. Let's just take the bass side of that. Yeah, let's try that. Because here's the thing: is this is kind of the last big scene. This area right here, that's like the finale in a way, because the end is just kind of like the cool down period. This allows the viewer to kind of be like, let their mind relax a little bit, enjoy a little bit of scenery, digest what they just watched. We could try a tech hit right here. It's a little bit loud, but I do like the engine. All right, let's watch that back. This is obviously so freaking loud. Let's deal with this really fast. That's crazy loud. You can be a little louder than that. Let's try maybe, well, let's see what you were like. Okay, yeah, you're loud. Great sound, but loud. So sick. This one. Super simple, not very loud. That one's loud, but I like it. And then the leaves, and then this bass drop down here. Okay, let's try that. Nope, this is too much. We gotta tone that back for sure. Do you not have any? No, you don't. You're all just a little loud. Okay. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. And then just a nice deep whoosh. Kind of like that one. You can put that in the middle of these two. And then maybe, yeah, let's put this really deep down right here. Again, this is like, if you're going to watch it on a phone, you're not going to hear it. But if you watch it with like headphones, AirPods, on a TV, a nice TV, then you might actually hear this. And I just love that. Yeah, that's really cool. I think I want to actually really go hard on the paint here with the bass. That's kind of fun. In fact, I might even just fade it across like that. You know? Let's try that. And then let's give the final scene a drop too. Some kind of downer. That sounds pretty extreme, but we can play with it. Maybe just drag this over. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. She needs a whoosh though. I think I want this one. Let's do that one. Oh, I have an idea. We could try this brand drone. And what's nice is they actually stack, so you can create a perfect loop. Fun fact. And then we'll just put that right here and see how this goes. Could be dumb, could be cool. It's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. I might speed it up just a tad though. That's gonna be way too much. 120, and then put the tail back on. See how that feels. Yeah. I like that. All it needs now is something to tell the viewer that it's about to happen. In other words, a riser. I'm not sure about that. Let's try it though. Let's try it. Oops. Maybe. That could work right there, actually. That's pretty good. That's fun. That's way fun. And like we did all of that. You know, let's play back really fast. Let's double check our word before we get too excited. think I want to raise the pitch up on this interior shot by 2. Yeah, that's a good move. Okay, and then last but not least is maybe bump this up and bump this back up again. Oh, was that crazy? Oh, that's not crazy. I don't think it's crazy at all. That's really fun. And there you go. That's a video. That is a sound designed video. And that only took us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which might sound like a lot, but also I've gone north of 20 before. So 10 layers outside of the engine noises. 10 layers. That is how you use my sound effects bundle. Live in action. Right there. Everything but the leaves. And the exhaust note. Anyways, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys had a great time. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from me. I'm happy to do this with more of my projects. I think it's a lot of fun to break this down, to help people understand what goes into this, how to use these sound effects, the creative ways to use them in ways that maybe they're not typically used or like supposed to be used. There's no supposed to be, you know? You don't have to use the whooshes when there's supposed to be a whoosh, or a hit when there's supposed to be a hit, you know? You can use them wherever the heck you want. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me. Had a ton of fun making this, and I will see you guys next time. Go have fun out there.